Hi, it's time once again to take a look at what I colored for the month of October 2019. And I'll start with some new items I purchased in the last month or so. Starting with this. This is a Twist and Sharp sharpener from Bow Stitch. And I thought, well, I was going to be in the hospital for a while. This was back in September, and I wanted to take some coloring supplies with me, and I purchased this on a whim. And it's kind of unique in that it doesn't sharpen in the traditional way. You kind of ratchet like this back and forth, and the blade itself kind of moves along with a pencil. You get a nice sharp point, no breakage. Works great for a bow stitch. I have one that operates on battery, and it's a piece of junk. But I do like this. The shavings open out on this right here. Lickety split. And John at the Bibliophile Colorist went to Dollar Tree and got some glitter gel pens. I didn't find the glitter ones, but I did find the Jot Stylus gel in regular gel pens. I thought I'd try them. And I also got these in a separate pack. And speaking of gel pens, the ones I use most often are the gold and silver, and these I got at Michael's. And these are, Uniball. Uniball 10. And they work beautiful. I can never have enough gold and silver gel pens. I use these more than any other color. And when I come out of the hospital, my brother and sister-in-law brought over a Get Well package that included a stuffed cat that looked like our Simon, some Sudoku books, and a coloring book. This one here. I colored a page in it using all gel pen. And this is for Lovella's coloring hashtag Color Your Hoard. This is from the Dollar Tree, Kappa Publishing, Inspiring Designs to Color. Ooh, look at that shine, huh? Took me one evening. I also got, when I went into Barnes & Noble a few weeks ago, I was lucky enough to find a Color in Heaven magazine. The clerk was standing around watching me walk all around, looking at the magazine racks. I couldn't find him in the adult coloring section. She says, "Can I help you?" I said, "Yeah, do you have Color in Heaven magazine?" So she went behind the desk and did a little typing. She's shaking her head, and I said, "Well, coloring is spelled with a U." "Oh," so she's typing out, "Oh yes, we have 3 in." I went, "Oh boy, I hope it's something that I would be interested in coloring," and it was. So, as you can see, this is the first one I did. I took the page out because I added some bling stickers to it. And on this piece I used Faber-Castell Classics on her hair and on the design background. Her skin I used Art and Fly skin tone markers. I'm not happy with those markers. They dry out so quickly. I've added alcohol to them, and I've had them less than a year, and I don't use them that often, because on smaller figures I use pencil, but on bigger portraitures like this I use the markers, and you can see how streaky it is. But, well, it is what it is. I do like the hair. Took me several evenings, 3 or 4 evenings, just to you know, doing each individual strand. Speaking of which, I've got a work in progress in this one. There we go. I just completed the hair tonight, and on this one I used Arteza pencils, and I like the way these pencils work in this book. For the background, the leaves up here, I used Cezanne colored pencils, and I didn't like the way they performed in this book as well. I ended up going over it with a blender pencil. And her skin, I started with a light layer of the Art and Fly marker after adding alcohol to it. And it's, I didn't get all of it yet, but because I had to add more alcohol to it to get the color to come out. But that's what I've got done so far. I also participated, oh, I forgot one more thing. I got some markers at Five Below, water-based markers. And I made a swatch of them. No color names or numbers on them, but I did save the packaging. 24 brush pens, that's what they were called, for $3. Can't go wrong. And I use these things all the time. I have a couple of other sets I use a lot that I've gotten at Michael's. I have a couple of other sets like this too that I've gotten from discount stores. Even the Michael's set was $5. It was their brand, Recollections, I think they're called. And I've already used these in one coloring, which I'll show you in a minute. I participated in some color-alongs this month, starting with this one. This is from Jade Summers' Edgar Allan Poe, and also from their Greatest Hits compilation. And it was for John's Color Along Biblio Horror. And I used Prismacolor Scholars, Crayola Super Tips, and some of those water markers I just showed you on her dress and the background wall. And gel pens. I hope that's coming in all right. Yeah, okay. You can see the sparkle and shine from the gel pens. I also participated in a color along featuring 5 different coloring book artists, and the hashtag was Creepy Coloring Collab. And the first one I did was from illustrator Kelly O'Gorman. And I used acrylic paint on the background and some of those Art and Fly markers for the skeletal bones, and mostly Cezanne colored pencils for the rest, including the cat. And gel pens, of course. As you can see, some of the light reflecting off them. I also use gel pens on the feathers. And the next one I did was from artist Kim White. She has I think it's called Creative Happy on Instagram. This is my interpretation of that one. And the background green was done with Sharpie, and her skin was done with Scholars. was mostly Scholars I used for pencil, and the rest of it was done with Crayola Super Tips and gel pens. And some of the, I use white painter's pen for the flames. And the final one I did for that color along was from Deborah Muller. And I used a lot of bling on this one, as you can see, a lot of sparkle and shine with the glitter glues. Because I didn't like the overall outcome of it. I thought it looked kind of uneven and blotchy in places. I just wasn't happy with it, so I thought I'd sparkle it up a little bit and give it some pizzazz. Yeah, look at that shine. And another color long I participated in was co-hosted by Niagara Nikki and Samantha Oswald. And the hashtag for that was Spooky Cute Coloring. And this is from Sugar Skull's Heads Up, Crayola's Art with Edge. And I was looking for something, because I'm not really into cute coloring so much. And this was the first book I thought of that I could find something in. When I saw this image, I thought, yeah, I got a big smile on my face. I said, yeah, this is the one I'm going to do. And for him, I use Cezanne colored pencils, gel pens, Sharpies, Crayola markers. That's pretty much it. You can see some of the sparkle and shine from the gel pen on the rose on his head. And some of the little decorations. The log he's sitting on was done with Super Tips. And one more item. On Deborah Muller's Facebook group, they announced that her husband passed away very suddenly, and to honor his memory, her husband's memory, we colored a page out of our favorite book, and mine, of course, is the Zendoodle Magical Fairies, and hashtag We Love You, Deborah Muller. And this was the page I chose. These 3 fairies. And I used Faber-Castell Classics and glitter markers and the gold and silver gel pens I showed you before on their wings. And the background was done with chalk pastels. She was very appreciative of our efforts, and she thanked us on the group, and she's, gone back into devoting her time to her illustrations, not only because she loves it, but, it's part of the grieving process. So, I thought that was very sad news, but I thought, this is one of my favorite coloring books anyway, so I thought this would be the perfect choice for that. So, anyway, I think that's it for October. I'm just checking my Instagram where I post all my pictures, and I've covered everything. So, anyway, if you haven't already seen it, check out my previous video on the coloring tag 2019. Alright, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.